One of them days, isn't it? One of them days. Pieces of fictional clothing don't come much more iconic than Fonzie's leather jacket, which makes it kind of hilarious that when the Fonz was first seen on television screens, to get him to wear that jacket in virtually every single scene, the producers had to abuse the shit out of some loopholes.
How come? Because I'm the Fonz, huh? Hey.
So there are going to be people out there who don't know who the Fonz is.
Of course, as is with most pieces of media from many years ago. So yes, if you don't know who Arthur Herbert Fonzarelli, he was a character on a TV show called Happy Days that aired many, many years ago before the internet, Netflix, God damn it, this coffee's not working, and potentially a lot of your own parents, depending on how young you are. Fuck it, that take's going in, I don't give a shit. Fuck it, use that take. I'm not doing another one.
Less work for me.
One of the things that makes the Fonz such an interesting character to talk about is the fact that he started life as a secondary character in the first season of Happy Days. However, he soon got so popular that writers eventually started reworking entire episodes entirely to focus on him.
Yeah, I think the only character I even know from Happy Days is Fonzie.
Yeah, and it's kind of hilarious that he started life as a secondary character that no one really gave all that much of a shit about, at least right from the writing perspective. And today, he's the only character anyone remembers from the show. And I believe on TV tropes, the phrase "doing a Fonzie" is used to describe a secondary character who is inexplicably more popular than everyone else in the show. And as cool as that is, I don't think it really has much relevance today. It's no. Kids today, they don't know who the fuck the Fonz is. They don't know what Happy Days is. They should probably call it doing a Loki. That's what I call it, because Loki owned those Marvel movies so hard. They rewrote Thor fucking 2 to put him back in it. They brought him back to life 3 times just so they could keep putting him in those goddamn movies.
Surprise.
Can you think of anyone else who's basically done that today?
One example I can think of is, I think originally Bryan Cranston's character in Malcolm in the Middle was meant to have no line.
He was supposed to it was all supposed to be about all the kids, wasn't it? But Bryan Cranston was so fucking funny, they eventually started rewriting episodes later in the later seasons to put more jokes about him in, as we've discussed in another video. It's like Bruce Lee in the Green Hornet, which again we've talked about in another video, where Bruce Lee in the Green Hornet, people know he was the sidekick to the titular Green Hornet, played Kato. But in Hong Kong, people like Bruce Lee so much more, they just renamed it The Kato Show and just dubbed over it to make Bruce Lee the main character.
Well, we talked as well about...
Oh god, no, let's have the coffee.
I said don't spill the coffee.
Shut up.
Yeah, we talked as well about Friends and how they were pushing for Ross and Rachel to be the main arc.
But then, the actors themselves, we've talked about it in another. Oh God, we're doing it. We're becoming those YouTubers.
No.
Let's
stop this now.
Let's talk about Fonzie.
I'll put links in the description
below. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh God, no.
No, do not even
like,
dare.
comment, subscribe. Smash that like button.
Smash that like button.
Join the notification squad. You know what? If you're in the notification squad, you can fuck off. So, oh yeah, where are my notification squad peeps at? I feel like it's going on that and clicking, using my administrative powers, just go hide from channel. I see that, I get so tempted every single time. It's stop it. We're not that kind of channel. Stop it. No. The worst bit is as well, because I know when these videos go up. And I'll click on it and it's they go up at 4 o'clock, don't they? We have to change that now. But they go up and I'll click on it 2 minutes past 4, just to make sure there's no problems. And I'll be halfway through watching it, and there'll be 4 comments from first. You've not even watched the video, it's 7 minutes long, and you've put first 2 minutes after it's gone.
I went on once, I think 1 minute after it went up, and suddenly put great video. I was like, you haven't watched it!
My favourite is when people, it happens a lot, obviously, because now I try to watch them as they go, just to make sure there's no mistakes, so we can correct them before it starts taking off. But I'll see a comment that'll say, oh, you should probably mention this in the video. And it's the comment 6 minutes after the video went live, and the video's got another 5 minutes left. And it's oh. And then I'll see a comment below it saying, oh, never mind. You didn't even watch the video before. Mention this. There are 6 fucking minutes left for it to be mentioned. It gets mentioned in... Come on.
You just just spilled coffee on my floor.
Oh, I spilled it on my knee as well. Oh, man. Oh, I should have worn trousers today. Have you seen all the theories going around that I don't wear trousers in these videos?
Well, you don't.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Oh, there's that video where you weren't wearing trousers. You can actually see the skin as well.
Yeah. We did actually do a couple of videos where I weren't wearing trousers, just because to see if we had no one noticed, and no one did.
It's the thing is, you got so many subs now that your dong's just too big to contain.
The one that gets me as well is like, no one noticed that week when you just weren't here and we got someone else in. That's the one that gets me. People are going to go so fucking mad trying to find those videos now. That's going to be so funny. Moving back to Fonzie, he's generally known for three things. Being a sick, awesome, cool dude who's awesome with all the ladies, being a tough badass who's not afraid of anyone, and his awesome leather jacket. Despite the fact that today, Fonzie's leather jacket is considered to be a cultural treasure that was, for a time, stored on lock and key in the fucking Smithsonian, when the Happy Days first aired, censors at ABC didn't want the character to wear it.
So why did ABC not want him to wear the jacket?
Apparently, censors were kind of worried that if Fonzie was shown wearing a leather jacket on screen, people at home might assume he was a no-good hoodlum, which, you know, kind of makes sense and you can understand to a degree, because part of Fonzie's backstory is that he was in 2 separate gangs. I'm imagining about West Side Story gangs. It's like, duh, 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 duh. Like, what is it? It's the Sharks and the Jets, isn't it? All obviously, like, because obviously it's set in the 50s, the gang from Greece.
Think they want to rumble? Yeah, if they do, we're gonna be ready for it.
He does have a bit of a Danny Zuko look.
He
to him,
does, doesn't
he?
He's got like greaser look to him, hasn't he? Whereas I think like, that's probably the look they were going for until like he morphed into a nicer guy. But goddamn, like that's a look I want to come back. Like I don't think I could pull it off, but I fuck it. Like this video, right? This video we made enough mistakes. Let's talk about this. I want like audience feedback on this. Like, I had an argument the other day about what is the strongest look, as in the strongest. Like, what is the look that you'll think that is so fucking good? Like, you look so cool, because it was inspired by. I'm a big fan of Tracy Chapman, and I was thinking the other day, is she dead? Do you know what you do sometimes? You think, is this person dead?
Yeah.
So I Google her and I go, oh, she's still alive. Oh, cool. There's a picture of her with like Obama. And I click on it, and she's now so old that she's got white dreads. And I said to my mate, is there any look stronger than like old black man or woman with like pure white dreads? Because I'm thinking like, you know, the mother from Black Panther, or like Ezekiel from Walking Dead. Is there any look stronger than snowy white dreads on like super old, dignified looking like black man or woman? And I thought to myself, the only one I can think that even competes is Luchador wearing a suit, the full Luchador mask and a suit, and that's like, I don't know which of those two looks is stronger. So you fuck it, like Greaser I think is close, you know, with the big old pompadour, like Tunnel Snakes Rule, that sort of thing. That's up there, but I don't think it can compete with Luchador in suit or like white dreads. You see Ezekiel sat there, his fucking tiger, and you think, if that was a luchador in a suit though, I would also have the same reaction, but I can't think of any other look that character could have where I think that's a fucking badass right there.
What if you combined them?
Oh, and have like a luchador, but they've got white dreads coming out the back.
In a suit with
in
a tiger.
Suit, and he's wearing a Pope hat. Oh.
If they didn't want him wearing the leather jacket, what did he have to wear instead?
Instead of like, you know, the awesome cool leather jacket that is now like, you know, so honoured and treasured, it's stored in the fucking Smithsonian, Fonzie was made to wear a Colgate white windbreaker. That looks so shit compared to his leather jacket. But because obviously like Henry Winkler, the guy who played him, looked fucking awesome, I still think if you put up the picture, he does pull that look off to a degree. Not as much obviously the leather jacket, but he still looks like, you know, as cool as like dreadlocks dipped in liquid nitrogen. So he's pulling it off, but still, a windbreaker? Come on, that's not what the Fonz wears, is it? When you think the Fonz, do you think douchebag in a windbreaker? It's like when I say Danny Zuko, do you picture that like, you know, the Letterman jacket that he's got at the end, where he's wearing the jumper and the sweat around him? He looks like an absolute fucking douchebag. Like, no, you want the leather jacket wearing Danny Zuko. Then you want like Sandy with the leather pants, man. That's the look. That's the power couple of that school right there.
Sandy?
Fun fact as well, I'm going to point this out because I'm assuming you're going to put the clip in of her wearing those leather pants.
Oh, yeah.
She literally had to be sewed into those trousers. The actress who played Sandy in Grease, they were so tight, what they did is they put them on and then sewed her into them, and then they had to unstitch them to take them back off. I've been there, man. I used to wear like skinny jeans. I've been there.
That'd be a bit awkward for Danny at the end of the night.
So let's get a bit down and dirty. Let's just unstitch your leather trousers.
He's just there picking out the stitches. Just reminds me of that bit in Friends when Ross can't get the leather pants back
God.
on.
And Joey's like, no, just make yourself a pair of paste pants.
Well, I'm just, if the paste matches the pants, you can make yourself a pair of paste pants and you won't know the difference.
That's up there with my favourite line from Joey. Like, that, and then the one where he gets his head stuck in the door.
Come on, you guys. We want you to know we're very, very sorry.
Luckily for Henry Winkler's career, producers of Happy Days found a loophole to the rule that said Fonzie couldn't wear a leather jacket because people might assume he's a hoodlum if he wore one while riding or standing in the vicinity of a motorcycle.
Why does he have to be near a motorcycle?
Because when riding a motorcycle, a leather jacket is considered to be a piece of safety equipment. So therefore, the producers could argue that Fonzie wasn't a member of a gang or wearing it, to be because he's a hoodlum. He was wearing it because he was safety conscious, which obviously the censors were all about.
That's so fucking dumb.
It is, isn't it? And do you know what my favourite part is? According to legend, like producers for Happy Days were able to convince the censors to let Henry Winkler wear the leather jacket more by saying to them, oh, he could wear the windbreaker, we suppose, but fans at home might think he'll get cold. And that apparently swayed them enough to say, fine, if he's near or riding a motorcycle, he can wear the leather jacket.
Fonzie, it's just a motorcycle.
Mr. C, it made me different. It made me special. My bike made me the Fonz.
Yeah, he's wearing his leather jacket. He's not wearing a helmet though. I noticed there's a lack of helmets in Fonzie's attire.
Do you reckon his hair is just bouncy enough that he doesn't need a helmet?
No, it's because he's the bouffon, the pompadour. He's just like so much fucking hairspray. It's rock fucking solid. It's like an action man. He does wear a helmet in some scenes, like when he jumps over all those buses, or when he jumps the shark. The literal jump the shark moment. Like this, obviously, people don't know. Jump the shark is when a show is generally considered to have started sucking shit, and it's named after a scene in Happy Days where, to establish that Fonzie is a huge big dick baller, they make him jump over a shark for a bet. And I think one of the reasons that was so widely criticised is because earlier in Happy Days they established that Fonzie nearly died, like betting someone he could jump his motorcycle over something. And he learns a big lesson about the fact that you don't need to prove your manhood to other people when they dare you to. And then later, no, fuck it, I'll jump this shark. Yeah, woo!
Yeah, there's jumping the shark and there's nuking the fridge.
Oh yeah, the Indiana Jones one, where he just gets into the fridge. Have you heard the theory that all of Indiana Jones after that point is just obviously Indiana Jones just dying of radiation poisoning inside the fridge, and that's why it starts having aliens and shit inside it. It's just the hallucinations of a guy who's starving to death and dying of radiation poisoning.
Wow.
Yeah. What a nice... Do you know what, though? I prefer that ending to the actual ending of that movie. Eventually, in later seasons of Happy Days, they didn't have to have Fonzie stood next to his motorcycle to wear the leather jacket, because his character arc showed that he was just a genuinely nice guy who felt safe inside of his cow. In the second season of Happy Days, censors relented completely, and Fonzie was allowed to wear his leather jacket sans motorcycle. However, it doesn't change the fact that for the first season, they literally had to have Henry Winkler stand next to a motorcycle in almost every scene he was in to justify him wearing a piece of clothing that would eventually become synonymous with his most famous role. A fact that's made doubly hilarious when you realise Henry Winkler couldn't ride a fucking motorcycle at the time.
Do you have a leather jacket?
Oh, no. I'm not cool enough to pull off a leather jacket, unfortunately. Although I do, there's a girl I used to be housemates with who did own one. And she probably came out with one of the funniest lines I think I've ever heard. Because we're going on a night out. She decided, for no particular reason, oh, tonight I'm going to wear nipple tape and fishnets. And that's what she wore on that night out. Me and my other housemate were like, awesome. What a great night out we're going to have. And it got to the end of the night, and we're like waiting for the taxi to go home. She stood there, and she's like all 5'1" of her, like shivering. She's got a big, giant leather jacket on. Like, are you all right? Are you cold? And she said, no, I'm warm inside my cow. That line has always stuck with me. Just this tiny little girl stood inside this humongous leather jacket going, I'm warm inside my cow. And she also came out with potentially one of my other favourite lines I've just heard someone just like utter nonchalantly. In our first year accommodation when I lived with her, we had a fire alarm go off. And if you've lived in student accommodation, you know that's the most bullshit thing that can happen at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I got up and the alarm's going off in my head like that. I'm like, for fuck's sake. I had a rough night last night and I'm at uni in like 2 hours. And I come out and I look at, and we both share that look of, I looked and went, are you going downstairs? Do you even give a shit? 'Cause right now, I'd rather burn to death than like go outside in my pajamas and wait half an hour for him to turn this off. And she went, no, it'll always stick with me. She went, I'm going to go get a shower. Fire can't get me in there. And what? That line has always stuck with me because it's just the nonchalantness of how she said it. Of like, so, no, I'm going to get a shower. Fire can't get me in there. Yeah, that's great. And I went back to bed. But I don't know if she knows how much that line stuck because I tell that story all the time because it was so fucking funny. I don't think she realised how funny it was. Just like how nonchalant. It's like, no, I'm going to get a shower. Fire can't get it. It's, always sticks with me. It's great. I love it.